it's all over. Here's the pass.
NBA Live 07 was a big hardcore train wreck. Laggy online play, jarring player animations, a basketball that warped from one place to another more than the crew of the Starship Enterprise, gameplay slower than Charles Barkley in a vat of butter. The laundry list of complaints just goes on and on. The development team at EA Canada admits the game wasn't its finest hour, which is why it's refocusing its efforts on NBA Live 08. Rather than try to drop layer upon layer of half-assed new features onto an already broken game, the developers have decided to go back and make sure they get the basics of b-ball right this time around. From early builds, the game is definitely playing faster this year, including much snappier passing. And thankfully, the side-court camera angle has returned, as opposed to the end-to-end angle the game forced players to use previously. In fact, it looks and feels a lot like real basketball. It's the third year of next-gen basketball games, and EA is finally looking like it's getting it right. Collision detection was a big issue in 07 as well. Players passed through other players, arms passed through backboards to perform supernatural dunks, and so on. And while you're going to get a bit of limb pass-through in almost any sports game, again, it seems EA has already cleaned it up for the most part in Live 08. In fact, body contact can be made both on the ground and in the air, so you're no longer automatically safe while attempting a dunk against a much bigger man playing D.
Here's Odom.
Speaking of dunking, that's another area EA Canada's been working on. Live 08 will feature a lot more signature dunks and change up the shots fairly frequently. Going for a dunk every time won't automatically result in a spectacular display of aerial acrobatics. And with the improved defensive play possible, you won't want to put yourself in that position a lot of the time anyway.
Steve, I don't know about that call.
Weight and height seem to make a difference as well. A small, agile ball handler can dribble circles around a bigger, slower defender who will have to rely more on the body than any quick moves to shut down the offense. One of the new features in this year's game is the hotspot interface. Simply pull the trigger and the current ball handler's shooting accuracy rating will be shown for each area of the court. There's also a new mechanic when you're on the post called Own the Paint. Using a simple rock, paper, scissors mechanic, you can press face buttons to pull off shots and pump fakes, or you can perform dekes and spins by tapping the right analog stick in the proper direction. Where modes are concerned, you get a nice Dynasty option, a dunk competition that's actually fun to play, online tournaments for up to 32 teams, quick play, which allows you to pick a 10-man fantasy squad, and a scenario option that lets you select all the parameters and then try to win the game. Basically, EA Canada is out to atone for the damage it did to its long-running series last year, and so far it's on the right track. There are still some issues to iron out before release, but they're the type of things that can be easily fixed by its ship date. Stay tuned for our full review of NBA Live 08 when it ships in early October.
James finding room. LeBron James. It'll beat the double team.